Welcome to another edition of Cinema Cycle. It's June 19th, 2015, and today starts a journey through a box set of laser discs called The Dawn of Sound. The first movie up on that playlist is Hollywood Review of 1929. Oh yeah. Well, when they say Dawn of Sound, they aren't kidding. Sound is not that good in this, but it is there. Basically a very fancy high school musical production so far, with a lot of well-known names from the 1920s. Although it is nice to note that they have pretty bad humor here, but the whole show lacks a laugh track. They hadn't gotten that far in Hollywood yet to add laughter to make the audience cue when there's supposed to be funny stuff on. So sometimes the comedy just really falls flat in here. Lots of large ensemble tap dancing back in 1929. So it's interesting when you watch films of this era how much things have changed. The concept of entertainment, what is considered funny, and also the language. There's certain words and certain forms of communication that we don't use much anymore that they still use here.
Now, as you all know,
and really bad editing. It's mostly just a lot of short vignettes that are spliced together, and the splices aren't that good. This is still Hollywood in its infancy, where they're still figuring things out. Laurel and Hardy, way ahead of their time. And now we have the big girly production number, which is just women dressed up in fancy costumes parading around to some musical accompaniment. Although I gotta say, for the time, which is 1920, the middle of the Great Depression, this is really risque. Some of these women are practically naked. There's an interesting aspect to this film. It was done or released in 1929, but there are actually several sections of this production that are in Technicolor, which is amazing because Technicolor probably didn't really come into fashion or was widely used for another 5 years. And it's rather not great Technicolor, but it is color cinema, so I suppose this really must have blown people away in the Depression era 1929 movie theater in Hoboken, Nebraska or something. And to sit down and see actually John Gielgud and Norma Shearer in color. Interesting.